First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The Giants ready to go now on offense, and under center is the man in possession of a new contract for 2023 and beyond. In his 5th season now, Daniel Jones.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley.
It's caught by Mike Evans. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Jones. There's Evans again, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down.
So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 18 carries, 105 yards.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. Well, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a 1st down.
Here's Jones throwing on 4th down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game planned for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game planned for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
He will push his way down to about the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Gano's kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he gets it up past the 35.
We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
First down throw, O'Connell. Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
Here's O'Connell. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Back to throw, O'Connell.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. 3 and 5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5 and 5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3 and 6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
Throwing Jones. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment.
Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Hunter Renfrow is the man he was looking for.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You talk about this Giant defense.
Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
The Raiders at 1-7 now on the year, and they come in really scuffling. Losers of 7 of their last 8 games.
And I like where the management is taking this team now because The record, not great, we know that. But now they're looking to the future, using the younger players instead of some of the veterans. They want to see how they produce in the cauldron of an NFL season.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Throwing on third, O'Connell working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go. Now O'Connell. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he's taken down inside the 30. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him, but right now he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Here is third and quite a ways. Now it's O'Connell.
And that's complete to Adams. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be fourth down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
The kick by Carlson is good. So add 3 all told. After the safety, it's a 5-point swing. That could have turned out much worse.
Well, you don't want to say no harm, no foul, but I do believe you're right. A 9-point swing hurts. 5 points, much more manageable, especially in a tight game like this.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
And they'll be looking to correct course here. They had the safety turned in against them last time they had the ball. That was followed by the field goal. So they'll operate from behind now as they start 1st and 10.
And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because the defense got it. They were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
And here comes Abdullah on the return.
And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. 1-7 their record here at the midway point of the season. And right now this organization, more than likely if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves. But with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So's the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On second down, Jacobs looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And O'Connell now to throw. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. Carlson able to put this one through. So that Charles a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is what we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too? Because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle's going to leave him about a yard or so short. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Abdullah to return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And they go play action here with O'Connell.
And his throw is incomplete.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Throwing, O'Connell. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The Giants' offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, Brandon, we can see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken at the 46. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. This to Jacobs on the toss right. Down to about the 45. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he's got this down to the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas 1st down.
Well, it certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On 1st and 10, it's O'Connell. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
2nd and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll push the lead to 11-3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3s. Even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, he's still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. That'll be caught by Cup. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Throwing on first down. Jones
looking for Cooper Kupp again. 2 in a row. He's still on his feet.
That all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Cooper Kupp
as the first half is winding down.
And the Giants are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And this is now a 1-point game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
2nd down and 4.
A final shot before break. O'Connell. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
A final shot before break. O'Connell.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas. We're past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter. Off the play fake. O'Connell.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Credit that to the former Georgia Bulldog, Azeez Ojulari getting in there to bring him down. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the 3rd quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said. That they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off.
but a nice game there for a first down.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Here's O'Connell looking to throw it.
He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
A little bit of finger pointing and heavy discussion going on in the defensive backfield. It's man coverage, but they leave a guy wide open. They've got to be counting their lucky stars that this ball was overthrown.
To throw here, O'Connell.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. He's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Looking to throw. Jones. His throw incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Taken from just outside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot
best.
on the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Mayer there to bring it in.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
O'Connell on 1st and 10.
It's caught here by Adams. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
Here's O'Connell. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Kayvon Thibodeau able to use that strength to get him for a loss of 2. Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
Back to throw, O'Connell.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
To throw on 3rd down, O'Connell.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Carlson is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. New York set to take the field. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now Jones. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD. That's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on for the 5th time here today. It's taken to the 26. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 9.
Delay of game, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 2nd down.
On 2nd down, O'Connell.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions, trying to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Able to convert on 3rd and 14, a terrific play call.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4.
O'Connell looking to throw on 1st. The open man here, Renfro.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now O'Connell. Back to Renfro again, complete.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Second and 9. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Now it's O'Connell. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Throwing on 1st down, O'Connell.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 57 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4.
And O'Connell now to throw.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Carlson able to put this one through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Throwing, Jones. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the 1st. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 7.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that'll be incomplete. Well, it took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And this defense will take over right at midfield. On the handoff, this is Jacobs.
And it's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Give them 12 yards that time, and a Las Vegas 1st. Once again, it's Jacobs, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Throwing, O'Connell.
Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Carlos Basham able to make the play defensively.
Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. Rolling to his right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing you didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds. That should have been a turnover.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They go with Jacobs. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Here's Jacobs. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Jacobs going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
Personal foul. Baseman. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has the better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker, throw the wristbands in the crowd for your kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Vegas Raiders.
And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second